Welcome to another edition of Winners Get Money, Season 3, Episode number 8. What's up, you guys? I'm James Myers. We got my boy, David Rahano. Say what's up, David.
What's up, everyone?
Yeah, you guys know the drill. Appreciate you following and tuning in. If it's your first time, we really appreciate it. We're going to go over what we learned in college football week 11 and what the big games were, what we learned, and implications for the college football playoff, most likely. And then we'll talk NFL week 10 that happened last week, how we do it. We talk about what happened previous week, recap our best bets, and then we talk about our best bets for this week. So we make it short and sweet to the point, so you guys aren't waiting forever to find out what our best plays are. And we research, we look into it, we definitely talk it over. We're not just throwing out random games out there, random numbers for you. So let's dive in, man. Week 11. We had Indiana escaping against Penn State I think they were a two-touchdown favorite at Penn State. Texas Tech, we were on that one. We'll just say it. We were on that one last week. We were big on that one. They were minus 10 against BYU. They killed them. I think they won 29-7. And then Oregon escapes against Iowa. I think they had a field goal at the end. I didn't
Yeah,
see it. I know it's poor, but yeah, that was a defensive battle to say the least. But that was a lot of people were big on Iowa that in that game. So that was a big win for Oregon, actually. Gotta give them some credit. So, yeah, your thoughts on those games or anything else that jumped out in week 11 college?
yeah. I mean, I guess off the bat, that catch for Indiana was
Yeah,
insane. Insane. Obviously, NFL doesn't count. People are like, oh, just, like that's not that good of a play. Like, it wouldn't count in the NFL, but it's like, no, this is college. It is what it is. Like, that's an
well, it
incredible
counted.
catch.
Yeah,
Yeah, they escaped. I think their first win ever at Penn State, or was
hmm
like, I saw something like the coach kind of made like a smart remark to like the reporter asking like, "Oh, you never
Oh,
won here," like, "Oh, we never played here," something like that.
I mean, it sounds right, dude. I mean, it's Indiana football.
Indiana. Like, when do they
Yeah,
ever go to Penn State?
yeah,
But yeah, good win. Undefeated season, still alive for
yeah,
them. Texas Tech, like we said, class above.
yeah.
BYU, and that's
Yeah.
exactly what happened. A
Mhm.
game was pretty much over from in the first half. And then Oregon, yeah, I was always a tough place to play. They'll give you your best effort, and yeah, good win for them.
Yeah, it is. No, I agree. Texas Tech, like you mentioned, I want to go back to that. I think they pretty much just showed they are the class of the Big 12. Like we've been saying it all like last week. It's just they're just a step above in the competition in that conference. I think their defense is legit. Offense, everything was meshing well last week, and they put on a very good performance. Indiana, you're gonna have those games where you escape. You need one of those. There's gonna be a dog that you get their best effort, and you're gonna need it. So. I don't really take a lot from it. I think it's actually
Yeah,
shows that Indiana's poised to come back and win. I think it's big for them. So, and then a couple others. Bama beat LSU. Lost on that. LSU had some chances for sure in that game, and then A&M stays undefeated as well. They
yeah, they took care of
smoked
business.
Missouri. It's funny all the games they had last week. They hit the over on that. But yeah, A&M looks solid again. I think they're number three. I want to say.
Yeah, they moved
So
up.
and then Notre Dame, the more I've been looking at this playoff, Notre Dame pretty much, I mean, their schedule's so piss poor at the end. Like, they don't really play anybody, and they don't have to play in a conference game. So I think they're pretty much locked up for the playoff. Like, the committee already has them as, like, the 8 or 9 seed. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
because
like, I don't see how they
was
don't get in.
it USC is probably the last like decent game
No, they already
against they
played them.
got. They did play. Oh, that's right. They
Yeah, they
did.
beat
Yeah,
them.
that's right. They beat them at
Yeah,
home.
yeah.
Yeah, because
Their
usually that
losses,
game later in the
yeah.
season. That's why in my head. But
Well, it's because you know what happened was their two losses were Miami, who's now in the top 12, and then their other loss was A&M at home, and like by one, I think it was.
yeah,
Yeah, so that's why I think the committee's so big on them. But yeah, it's just like I don't see how Notre Dame doesn't get in if they already had them in the top 12, and their schedule's so poor to finish the end of the season. So
yeah, they'll get in. You know how
yeah,
like the committee they want a big brand name like Notre
hmm
Dame in there. So
I get
I
it,
mean,
especially being in the Natty last year, it helps. So.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, let's jump to it. We'll recap best bets for college real quick from week 11 that we had. I'm 12-10 now overall. I had the over in the Missouri A&M game we mentioned that was 45 that hit. We both had Texas Tech minus 10 against BYU that hit easily. Lost on LSU minus 10. Definitely had some chances to keep it within the number. A few drop passes. Just I think Nussmeier they switched quarterbacks, which is wild. I guess
Yeah,
his draft stock is I
He's
just,
plummeting. He's
yeah,
plummeting
it's
by the minute.
crazy. I was so big on that guy too, and I didn't think he played that bad, but I guess yeah, they just weren't having it. Anyway, interim coach, so you want to change it up maybe. You can if you want to recap yours.
Yeah, I had Texas Tech just like you, and then Kentucky just killed Florida.
Yeah,
Easy win there. And then Vandy, it was 6.5. We had a cover, end up in overtime.
overtime. Yeah, who did they play again?
Auburn.
Yeah, David went 3-0. Don't sell yourself short, man. David went 3-0.
Yeah,
I went 2-1. So
3-1,
perfect
five and
week.
one overall. Or I guess 4-1 if you want to, count the Texas Tech as one. But
Yeah.
yeah, good week overall in college. So 11-7 overall.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess we'll keep building with a couple of games this
Yeah.
week.
Hell yeah. Speaking of good games, let's jump into it, man. We got best bets week 12. We are on. Oh, we're on all the same games. I forgot.
I'll say,
Yeah, let's do it. Do you want to start first or me?
yeah. I'll kick it off.
Let's do it.
I guess we can start off with probably the biggest game of the weekend. It'll be Texas plus 6.5 at Georgia. Big game for Texas going on the road. Yeah, I guess I kind of just looked at this game and it's 6.5 just seems like it's a lot here. I get it, Georgia at home, won by a touchdown. Could have happened, of course, but Texas, they're just too talented on each side. Yeah, Archie's had his struggles throughout the year. Texas has had their hiccups, going to Florida losing. But they're for sure going to be up for this game. And this game just seems like it'll be, probably decided by a field goal, to be honest. So,
I like that. Yeah, I totally agree. Texas coming off a bye. They've looked the best they've looked. They're on a 4-game win streak. I know that's doesn't mean a lot sometimes in college because it's college, but still, this team was kind of reeling in the beginning of the season. People weren't sure what this team is. I think they just keep getting better, and I think teams should be a little scared to play these guys now. I think they're getting better every week. That game against, like we said a couple weeks ago, that game against Vandy, only won by 3, but they could have won by at least 2 touchdowns, I would say. They were dominating that game and just kind of let them back in it. So I think it was a little misleading. Arch is getting better every week at QB. I think Sark is a great coach off a bye, so I think he'll have them ready. Georgia did play really well against Mississippi State, so a lot to be decided, but I've noticed Georgia. I did a write up on this as well. You guys check our Twitter account as well. I'll put it in the link in the video description. Georgia's defense, one of the bottom at getting after the quarterback. So you're gonna like Arch Manning's gonna have time in this game. You're gonna see it. Georgia's defense isn't the world beaters like it used to be. Georgia relies actually a lot more on their offense now. So I think a big matchup will be the run offense against Texas's D line. And Texas has got stars everywhere. I think they keep it close, like you said. I think they keep it within the number, maybe a field goal here. Maybe Georgia does win because it's at home. But yeah, huge game. This is Texas's also one other point. This is probably for the playoff for Texas to make it
yeah.
because they already have 2 losses. They get 3, you're done. Let's just be honest. You're done if you get 3 losses. So yeah, we're Texas plus 6.5. Anything else on that?
I mean, that's pretty much it. It's a 4:30. It's a primetime game, right? Both these
Yes.
games.
Yes.
Good
ABC.
primetime
Yeah.
night game for Georgia. So, yeah, it's going to be a good one for sure.
Yeah.
Probably be flipping back and forth between that one and the next game we're going to talk about. So,
We'll throw it on YouTube TV. Oh wait, they're still in their dispute with
ah,
ESPN. Sorry
thanks,
guys, if you
Disney.
have that. Yeah, that's tough. That's the dumbest thing. Anyway, all right, yeah, like we said, we're going big game hunting. Next game, we are both on Oklahoma plus 6.5 at Alabama. We're taking the 2 road dogs in the biggest 2 games. We like the spot here again. Oklahoma off a win against, gosh, who did they just play? I'm so sorry. They just beat somebody. Oh no, that was
Um,
that 2 weeks ago against Tennessee?
yeah, that's 2 weeks ago.
Dang it, my bad. Yeah, they beat Tennessee. They're looking like they belong in the SEC. Defense, they're kind of. I think this defense can hang and keep them close within this Alabama offense. Mateer looking better and better again each week, coming off the injury I know a while back. It seems like forever ago, but I think he's finally finding his footing. They're setting up good game plans for him, and I think I just like we've mentioned before, like we said, Alabama's lucky to cover against LSU. Oklahoma's a step up in competition for sure over LSU, and like you said, just Bama like, as a favorite and kind of a bigger number. Just sometimes they just don't cover it, and again, I think last week with LSU was very misleading, and LSU could have covered. So I like Oklahoma here. I think they get it done, and I don't know if they win per se, but I think they keep it within 6.5.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, another big game. We're big game hunting that we're doing here. Um, Yeah, just Oklahoma 6.5, very similar to Texas. Like this just feels like it's gonna come down to the wire. Um, we like we said, Alabama's been outgained in I want to say like 3 or 4 like big games that they played this year, and they sneak away with the win. It's like at the end of
Hmm.
the day, it's like you don't get style points for how you win, just as long as you win. And Bama's like taking care of business in
Yeah.
that sense. But at the same time, it's like like you said, step up in competition. OU better defense than honestly probably anyone Alabama has probably seen this year.
Yeah.
Maybe
No, it's fair.
barring what Georgia I want to see, maybe if
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Um,
Again. Hmm.
and then obviously Vandy, they are outgained against Vandy. Defense for Vandy, they're decent. Run of the mill probably defense you got out there. But
Yeah.
OU, like you said, you saw what they did to Texas. You saw just kind of what they did all season. And it's just one of those games where I think Bama, maybe not outgaining opponents or not putting them away, might come back and bite them a little bit here, at least for the spread.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll probably go out and maybe win by 3-6, but for sure, like the OU's a live dog here for sure.
Yeah. And again, just like the same spot as Texas, OU's off a bye, and I think this is probably for their playoff lives as well.
Yeah,
So, desperate teams, we like. I think those are the teams I tend to bet more, like who are more desperate to win a game and need it more, because you're going to get a full effort from them as well.
they say that was it. What's the thing? The hungry dogs run faster.
Yeah,
Portnoy always says that, and
yeah,
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 this
yeah.
is what you have. You have just hungry dogs in this weekend. So
That's true. Yeah. Next, so we're on Oklahoma plus 6.5. Next play, Dave.
yeah, we have Michigan State at home against Penn State, +7. Kind of want to sprinkle the money line there as well. You just kind of don't know what you're going to get out of Penn State after that game last week. They literally expelled every ounce of energy
Hmm.
in the Indiana game. They almost pulled it off, and we talked about it like crazy. Catch at the end with under like 30 seconds left. How much does Penn State have left? It's like they can. I just feel like they're going to pack it in this week and
Yeah,
not give the best effort. They're going to let Michigan State probably stay in this game by a lot longer than they should. And I even think they can probably win outright, to be honest. But yeah, it's more just a fan on Penn State. Like it's a letdown spot after you had the chance to kind of not kill Indiana's season because they're probably still making the playoff one loss
yeah,
anyway, but just kind of giving I guess that program a nice win for the year because they have not had much to cheer about over there or build off of. I guess for that matter.
yeah. I totally agree. I mean, I'm on this with you as well. We're all on the same side here. So I'm on Michigan State. I think looking at their schedule, Michigan State has been competitive these last couple of weeks. Had a hard fought game against Michigan in a rivalry game, lost by 11, and then just lost in overtime to Minnesota by 3. I think this is too big of a number. Who is Penn State good enough to be covering a full touchdown here? Like you said,
Yeah,
they used all their effort in that game against Indiana. Now they're going to turn around and cover a full touchdown on the road at Michigan State. I just don't see it. I Yeah, I just don't think Penn State's a good enough team to be laying a full touchdown here. I think Michigan State, like you said, may win outright. We'll see. Again, guys, it's funny in college we say it, we still always say it in pros, but guys could be fighting for jobs here too. I mean, guys are looking at transfer portal for next year, NIL, all that crap. So Michigan State, yeah, we're here on +7. Anything else on that game?
yeah, it pretty much wraps it up. It's just one of those, you see what happened one week to another, and it's like, all right, like
I think it's
I'll
an
take the Kansas
overreaction as
favorite.
well. I forgot to mention
Overreaction
that.
too. Yeah,
Again, for Penn
1,000%.
State.
Because let's say Penn State loses by what 14, they don't cover the spread. Like, what's this line really going to be?
Yeah, is it really -7 Penn State? I
It's like
don't I
no,
don't think so. Yeah. No, that's
probably
a good
closer
point.
to probably closer to 3, 4 points to be honest. So
And
yeah, like you said, a little slight bit overreaction. People are probably gonna look at Penn State and be like, oh, they almost beat Indiana. Like, not that they're back, but like they should be able to take care of Sparty pretty easily here. But it's like,
mhm.
nah, I don't. I think people's perception will ultimately be wrong here.
Yeah, I agree. I think it could be end up being like a little pros Joes. All the public seeing Penn State last week and just jumping on them, how they did against Indiana. Okay, those are our three plays. Texas +6.5 at Georgia, Oklahoma +6.5, Michigan State +7. Those are our three bets. We're all on the same side here again. Looking to have another solid overall college week. David went 3-0. I went 2-1 last week. Anyway, let's move to the National Football League. Week 11, man. It's crazy how much this season, how fast this
Just
season has gone.
flying.
It's
Yeah,
unreal, dude. It's just absolutely unreal. This time around, we're on different sides of games with different plays, except we have one game that we're on the same side, but other games we're on other games. So David started college. I'm gonna start us with NFL, just like we do every show. So first play, we're gonna go Vikings -2.5 versus the Bears at home. I did a write-up on this as well. If you guys look at the description, it's in that same article. Yeah, just like the spot here for Minnesota. This is another fade against the Bears. We had the Giants last week. Giants could have easily won outright. I think if Jackson Dart doesn't get hurt, I think Giants were in control of that game. I think they had it, and then Dart, it's huge. It's kind of as a team where you see your starting quarterback go down, and you know what you have as a backup in Russell Wilson. He hasn't done much all season. It's like, do we have a chance here? No, they didn't, and they lost because Wilson really didn't do much when he came in. So.
yeah,
This is a spot where JJ McCarthy, I know, hasn't shown much consistency, but this is a spot I think he bounces back. I think O'Connell will have a good game plan for him. Vikings did beat him week one. They're looking to go 2-0 against the Bears. So McCarthy does have experience against the Bears already. It's not going to be an unfamiliar foe. He played them week one on Monday Night Football. So I like that spot as well. I think they get it done. I think this defense will be relentless. I think they'll be putting pressure on Caleb Williams. Flores, ramps it up. And again, O'Connell, I think will have him ready. And Bears have been kind of sliding by. They got
yeah.
lucky against the Giants with Dart getting hurt, and then the week before was that crazy madness game against the Bengals, that high scoring game.
That
So I
shootout.
think
Yep.
I think I think this is the week where it kind of catches up to Chicago and Minnesota wins. I'll say I guess a field goal here with 2.5. So yeah, I'm taking the Vikings.
Yeah. I mean, I lean that way as well. Like 2.5. Like I said, they're at home. The Bears. The the Bears are probably better than what people kind of expected. Better than what
Mhm.
they have been. The prior seasons. Caleb's looking a little bit better every week. But I just feel like them traveling to Minnesota, it's still a tough place to play.
Oh yeah.
And it's a short 2.5 point favorite for the Vikings. I want to say they kind of need this game too, like just based off of
Oh,
how
desperately. They
yeah.
have to
So
have this game. I think
I
their
could
season's
probably
over if they lose this.
yeah, because they're 4-5, they're 10th right now in the
Hmm.
NFC because they have the Niners and the Panthers ahead of them. So yeah, this is the time where you guys start like packing in some wins because you look on the other side, the Bears 6-3, like 6 seed. I want to say they're probably in right now.
Which is crazy.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, which is crazy. And this seems like you said, McCarthy's gonna have a good. They're gonna put a good game plan for McCarthy here, and yeah, just the Vikings have kind of underperformed. I feel like they're gonna put a good effort this week and sneak by and 3-point victory.
And you know what else too? I forgot to throw in the game against the Ravens. I also think was a little misleading with
Oh, yep,
because of the. I think the dude on Minnesota. I think he fumbled twice on the kickoff, back to back. I mean, come on! Like you're gonna give short fields to Baltimore with Lamar back. That's tough. So, yeah, I like Minnesota here. Your play, Dave.
yeah. We have the Niners -3 at Arizona. Um, yeah, on the Arizona side, the injuries keep piling up. Not that the Niners haven't had their fair share of injuries, um, but they're going to be missing Marvin Harrison Jr. this weekend most
Huge
likely,
loss. Yeah.
and it just seems like it's kind of like teams going in opposite directions. Like, I think the Cardinals are like what 1-5 in their last six. Like they barely won the last week,
Yeah,
two
they've
weeks
been in a
ago.
lot of games, but they can't
They
find a
can't
way to
do
win
it.
them. They
I
got
just feel
killed
like
by Seattle
yeah, they did get killed
last
by
week. Yeah.
Seattle last week, and I don't know, like I just feel like it's teams going opposite directions. Obviously, Niners lost at home to the Rams last week.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, but I kind of feel like the Niners are the better team in that they can bounce back from something like this, as opposed to the Cardinals. I'm not sure they can bounce back and
Yeah.
put up a better effort than they did last week. Yeah, they're divisional games. Yeah, they usually get played tight. Brock Purdy, they announced today he's going to be back.
I was gonna
I
ask you
wouldn't.
that. Is it Purdy? It's
It's
Purdy this
Purdy.
week? Wow.
Yeah, I
Okay.
wouldn't say it's a total upgrade either because I think they're 5-3 with Mac Jones this year. So it's
Yeah.
one of those like,
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Yeah, I
it's
know, I get it.
different. Yeah, it's different as opposed to like getting
I
like,
don't know.
I
I
think
don't
you
know,
said
but
like a Joe Burrow back,
yeah,
for Flacco we
I
kind of
agree.
talked about. Um, so I wouldn't say it's like a total upgrade. They're getting pretty back in this sense, but I just think the Niners I just they have too much on their end, to
Yeah.
sneak away, and it's more this is more a thing on the Cardinals,
Yeah.
cluster
Who haven't shown
injuries,
anything.
haven't shown anything.
Mm.
They're ready to roll over, and the Niners, they got to keep winning to kind of keep pace with everyone else in the NFC.
Yeah, no, definitely. I agree. I mean, you got the Rams and Seahawks in your division. You got to keep up after losing to the Rams. I do say, yeah, Purdy's not much of an upgrade. I think he's a little bit. I think you kind of saw the difference with Mac Jones in this game last week against the Rams. Mac not being able to keep up with the Rams. I mean, Stafford just lit him up. I think Purdy would have maybe had it a little closer if he was starting that game, but not much. I agree. I don't think it's that much of an upgrade, but just a little point there, I think. Also, Arizona, just like we said, they just haven't shown that they can do this, like bounce back. And I think their last win was against Dallas, who's not a good opponent really that we've seen over the season. Arizona's just been too inconsistent. Now you lose Marvin Harrison. It's pretty much Trey McBride. That's it. That's their whole offense now at the tight end. So I agree with you. You think if Arizona keeps losing or loses this game, I mean, Gannon, I mean, the head coach might be out.
You might.
Wouldn't you think? I mean, I think they're starting to get sick of him, to be honest. So, God, they've been in a lot of close games though. But yeah, I think maybe it's time. Especially, I mean, their coach when he like hit that guy after he fumbled
Oh,
it,
he like
and
dropped
then
the
they
ball
they
like right before
fined
the
him,
goal line. Yeah,
which is amazing. Like I can't believe they actually fined him for that. They fined him like 100 grand for that.
yeah,
It was crazy, and so it just shows kind of that ever since I saw that, I was like, this ownership may not just actually really respect him at all. But
yeah. Or even the players for that matter.
yeah, exactly. It's crazy. So he may be on his way out, so we'll see. But all right. Anything else on that?
No, that's pretty much it.
Okay. Dave's on Niners -3 at Arizona. Okay, my next play, we're going with an over. You guys know it. I love my overs. But these are sharp overs, hopefully. Over 49 Bengals at Steelers. Yeah, this is just a fade against Cincinnati's defense. And I think Pittsburgh's defense as well is susceptible to giving up points. I think Cincinnati, all they do is pass the ball since Flacco's been inserted into the lineup. All they do is throw, throw, throw. We looked up the weather as well. We didn't see much that alarms us with the weather. I think you're going to get a better performance from the Steelers' offense as well after Chargers' defense pretty much had them locked down. Let's be honest, that 10 points it could have been three. They just gave up a last second touchdown already with the game in hand. So I expect a really good performance from Rodgers here and Metcalf. Get on the same page. I think they'll be able to move the ball in this. I mean, it's shown every week this season. Everybody's been able to move the ball in this Bengals defense. So, and I think Flacco's they'll move the ball as well. I mean, I think Cincinnati's offense is formidable now with Flacco. They've shown that they can score. I mean, this is a revenge game. That Thursday night game, that classic shootout. I kind of when they played each other a few weeks ago, I kind of expect the same result. To be honest with you, I think Pittsburgh may get it like on the winning end of this one, but I kind of expect the same flow, if you will. So yeah, over 49 here.
Yeah, I mean, you said it too. With the Steelers when they played the Packers a couple weeks ago, they had a bad second half performance. They come back and beat the Colts. No one saw that coming. The offense looked good. They scored like what 25, 27 points. I
Yeah,
want to see that game.
defense forced a lot of turnovers. Yeah.
A lot of turnovers. Last week, like you said, 10 points. Should have been three. Garbage time touchdown. So the thing too is Tomlin always has his team ready the week after the loss. Plus, I mean, yeah, the Steelers are actually at home, so yeah, I look for a lot better performance on their side to get us to the over. Was it 49?
Yeah.
And then, like you said, the Bengals under Flacco just pass, pass, pass. I mean, they have the weapons, so they're going to use them. And like you said, you're kind of expecting a lot of what we saw a couple weeks back. When Flacco got the better of Rodgers, what they
Yeah.
call it, the Unk Bowl, with
That was
all
his
these like
first start too with the
yeah, his first
Bengals.
start.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like you said, like these teams know each other pretty well, and I feel like it favors the offense more than it would the defense, with the kind of like that familiarity. And usually we say like conference games get a little bit tighter, but this line just tells you like there's gonna be points. There's gonna
And
be points
also
scored.
another key point, I just thought of it. Sorry. Steelers secondary really banged up.
Yeah,
Really banged up. Like I think they're down to like I don't know the status of Porter. I think Slay's out with a concussion. They had Jalen Ramsey at safety last week against the
yeah.
Chargers. I don't know if you noticed that. That
Wait,
was wild.
yeah, I saw they're on like they're like fourth string too at
Yeah,
one
I mean,
point.
and you
So
got
it's
T. Higgins and Jamar Chase.
like
Give me,
sorry.
yeah, yeah. No, I mean that's a great matchup for Cincinnati's receivers. So they should have a nice day as well. So yeah, over 49 here. Your next play, Dave.
Yeah, we have a big game actually in the AFC West.
Huge game.
It's Kansas City at Denver, but we're taking the under 45 here. Did check the weather report. They're expecting, light showers, cold, rainy. It just feels like one of those divisional under games. We just came off from our divisional over to the divisional under here, and like it's like Denver. We know what their defense is. Good defense. Bo Nix. We see Bo Nix lace some eggs.
Yeah.
And like you said, was it last week? Or the last
Dude,
Thursday night?
yeah, it was disgusting. They put up 10 points. It's 10-7 final, I think. I think they
And
put up
seven.
3 points in the second half. That was it.
Yeah.
So,
So we you know what you're gonna get with this Broncos team. Yeah, they can light you up for points here and there. But on the Kansas City side, their defense
I
good
think
enough.
it's,
It's pretty solid. Obviously, Mahomes is starting to get his weapons back on offense, but I just feel like the way this game's gonna be played is gonna be played really tight. You know, like not a lot of tempo. I feel like each team's gonna be not treating this fully as like a playoff game. This early in the season, but this game could at the end of the season be for the division in that
yeah.
sense.
Hmm.
So I just feel like it's gonna be a tight run game. Probably not taking too many chances here and kind of just being more conservative each way, especially with the rain too. You're more susceptible to turnovers and all that. So I can see this game being in the low 20s, to
Yeah.
be honest, if it even gets there. So
Yeah, I totally agree. There's no way I would take the over in this. I think the under was favored like minus 120 here in this book we looked at, Bovada. So, yeah, Kansas City's off a bye. I just haven't seen anything from Denver's offense the past few weeks. Nick's is just he's pulled it out at the end, kind of. I mean, they put up 3 points against the Raiders defense that has been susceptible to giving up points. I mean, I just Denver's defense to me is filthy. Like
yeah,
their defense is so good, even without Sertan, it's still really solid. They get after the quarterback. I mean, they got guys everywhere in that D line who can get after the quarterback. So I think Mahomes will be under pressure all game. I just, yeah, I don't see how Kansas City's defense, Spagnola always has them ready. I know they'll be ready off a bye as well. I think this will be a tight game, like you said, divisional for a game that could possibly be for the division. So, like you said, I think it'll be a tight game and, maybe 21-17 here. I could see something like that final. So, yeah, like you said, the weather as well. I just haven't seen enough from Knicks to lay over here and see Denver being able to move the ball in this Kansas City defense off a bye, especially. I think they'll have a good game plan in place. Yeah, it's kind of where I'm at with that. Anything else on that?
no, pretty much wraps it up.
Okay.
We just got one more play. Yeah, one more play.
Yeah, we're on the same side here. It pains me to say this, but I've loved this team the past 2 weeks, and they have just disappointed me. Atlanta. We're on Atlanta Falcons minus 3.5 at home against Carolina. Pretty much the season on the line for Atlanta. This is if the season wasn't on the line last week, it's on the line this week. I mean, they're three and what, six,
Three and
right?
six.
And they just lost a heartbreaker to the Colts in Berlin, Germany, and they could have easily won that game too. Penix just he just disappoints. Atlanta is so talented, like we've talked about Bijan and London and all those boys. And Carolina just it's just a team that maybe it was fool's gold in the beginning. I don't know. They got away with the Packers and got that wheat, and then they lay an egg against the Saints, and it just shows like gave Tyler Shuck a win at on the road, and just I think Atlanta's a better team here overall. I think they win by a touchdown probably here. If Penix can just be solid in this
Serviceable.
game, yeah, serviceable
Serviceable.
or solid, I think they win by a touchdown. Again, also this is a little bit of a revenge spot for Atlanta. They lost 30, was it 30-0 against Carolina
Got
early in the
killed.
season? Yeah, they
Yeah.
didn't score. And yeah, they got smoked. So I think again, like we said, this is a huge game for them. If Tampa Bay, they're looking at their schedule, there's some outside chance they may be able to compete for the division. Tampa Bay's got a tough game at Buffalo this week. I think they're at 6 wins, right? Tampa Bay. So
Yeah.
if Atlanta wins, they're at four. They're 2 games back, kind of, and they got a shot. You never know. 2 games back with like 6 or 7 to play. You never know, man. And they're probably gonna have one more game against Tampa Bay. I'm sure. I don't think they've played them twice yet this year. So yeah, Atlanta 3.5 here.
Yeah. I mean, we've kind of said too, like it's a pretty disgusting game just because the
It is.
Falcons every week, like they disappoint. Well, I guess if you look back first at the first time they played, you mentioned it 3-0. If you look at the stats, the Falcons outgained Carolina in every single
That's
category, and
insane.
yet they scored 0 points and they lose by 30. Like a little bit of a a misleading final, I guess you can say in a sense. And the revenge factors there. The Falcons are obviously the better team here. Carolina 5-5. They say they win a big game, lose a big game, win a big game. Last week was their chance to kind of get over that hump finally, and they no show to the
Yeah.
Saints. So I just feel like you're getting a lot more of that inconsistency with the Panthers. So we don't really know what we're going to get out of them this week. We don't really know what we're going to get out of Penix this week either. But when it comes, both sides, it's like the more talented team, I feel like, should cover this spread, and
Yeah.
it's Atlanta.
Okay. Anything else, college or NFL, before we let the viewers go?
I saw there's a Spain game this weekend.
Yeah, I think it's Dolphins, Redskins, or Commanders, whatever they're
Commanders.
called. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, they're just, dude. I mean, Miami off a big win against Buffalo. They
yeah.
worked Buffalo. That was impressive. I was very surprised. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are surprised by that one. That was impressive, to say the least. And then who else was it? Oh, there's another upset I thought, but I can't remember. I just can't think of it last week.
Um,
I don't know.
Steelers, Chargers, Bills, Jags, Texans.
Texan,
No,
that comeback by the Texans was insane.
that was a really good comeback, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was insane. They were down, what, 3 scores?
yeah. I think they scored 26 unanswered to win that game.
Davis Mills. Yeah,
Bills Mafia.
that's right. A lot of good, a lot of good games this week, to say the least, in NFL. There's some
Yeah.
really good matchups. Lions, Eagles, Kansas City, Denver. Excuse me. Bucks, Bills, Chargers, Jags. Yeah, I mean, Bears, Vikings, that should be solid too. So Seahawks, Rams. I missed that one as well. And Stafford's playing out of his mind. Seattle's really good too. They look really good. It's impressive. I'm curious to see who pulls that one out as well. I think Rams are 3.5. So yeah. Anything else?
Yeah, pretty much wrapping up.
Okay. Yeah, that'll do it. Again, check us out on our YouTube, Twitter, guys. Winners Get Money, at Winners Get Money. We really appreciate it. Check out my write-up as well. I'll be posting that. And look for anything else we may play in the future. All right, I'm James Myers. That's David Rahano. We'll see you guys next time. Gamble responsibly, as the kids say. All right, guys. Have a good one.